Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan Hans here, and today we're going to be unboxing and setting up the 12-foot witch from Home Depot. Now, I am so excited to unbox her. This is one of my most anticipated props for the season because I love her look so much. She's a 12-footer, she's got so much going on, she's got movement, head movement, mouth movement, and she looks so cool. Her pose is so unique, and that is definitely why I needed to grab her. Her pose is just so freaking cool with the broom. I honestly do really love it. And she is personally, definitely, I think, one of my favorite 12-footers that has ever been released. Now, I ordered this on July 15th at 4 a.m. in the morning, so I'm really glad I was able to get her. And she came pretty quickly, because that was only about 16, 17 days or so, if I recall. But yeah, I am so excited to unbox her. She finally shipped to my Home Depot store, so I finally picked her up. Her box isn't that bad compared to the other 12-foots. This is about only a 57-pound box, and it's not that big at all compared to another 12-foot like Inferno or just the normal 12-foot skeleton. So it's a pretty good box size. But yeah, I'm so excited to unbox her. Let's begin by opening the box and seeing what we have inside. So this is what we have going on inside of the box when you first open it. Now clearly we can see that the base, part of the base is up here, and it seems like the base comes in half. So that's probably due to the storage of the box, so they could cut down in price. So this is basically a half of the base right here. That is the B, and we can see her broom is in multiple pieces here. We have the 3D instructions, and then we have, I'm assuming these are all the poles in one big brown box. I can definitely feel poles in there. So just put this aside. And then we have the other part of the base. And then we have all of the broom right here in this box, as you can see. And then we have the other part of the base. Just pull it out like so. Here is the other half of her base. Really freaking cool. And then we have some foam pieces, probably for her legs and or arms, either one. Then we have the other foam piece right there. Oh, this is definitely for the arm, as you can see right there. And then we have the bottom of the broom. It's pretty big, as you can see here. This is a really big end of the broom. And then it seems like we have some of her clothes right there. And then we have her large hat. Wow. Here is her hat right here. And you can see it also comes with her hair attached. So that is really cool. It is pretty windy outside, so it's kind of flying away. And then I think in here we actually have her head. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, you can see her head. And then we have one hand. We have another hand that's holding the broom, and as you can see, the lights are on there as well, and there's the cable. It's pretty cool. And then the last thing in here is her head. And here is her head, guys. This is a really cool head. As you can see, she has the moving mouth, she has the slits in her jaw, which look really cool. And she also has the animated digital eyes, which are always good on the 12-foot skeletons. And then we have this piece right here. I'm pretty sure this is actually a extender for the adapter to go through her, if I recall, but I'm not sure what that actually fully is yet. And then in here we have her mechanism, which is kind of lodged in there. Here is her mech with shoulder frame. And then I think we only have one more part. I'm not sure what this part is, but it is in a box, so we'll have to unbox that. But yeah, that seems like it's all of her parts. I'm gonna get all of her parts, you know, nicely assorted around here so we can finally get her set up. The first thing you're going to do is put both of the base pieces on the ground of where you're going to set her up, and then snap lock both of the base pieces together to make it one full base, and it should look something like this on the ground with the front having little two poles right there. And next up, what we're going to do is attach C to the base here, so we simply just slide it on down. And there is a little screw here, but you want to remove that. And after that, the C pole will have these back poles right here. You simply just want to unhook the pins and put them through this hole on the base. Next up you want to do is put this Z power block into the actual broom, just like so. You just stick it in there with the wires coming out of it, so like this, so you can connect all the wires. And you just want to put the Z box all the way down there and let the wires come out up here on top of the broom. Then after that, you want to get the bottom of the broom and put it over the pole you just snapped locked in, and it should look something like this. Next up, what we're going to do is attach the E pole to this pole right here, just like so. A simple snap lock like that, and it already adds a bit of height to her. She's almost getting up to 7 feet just by this pole right here. For this next step, it wants us to start using the box for the setup because it is 12 feet, and if you don't have a ladder, you're going to have a problem setting it all up to its full height. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the box and simply just lay it down on her box here, just like that, and like that, so you can work up here on her actual body and stuff, and you don't need a ladder. You can just lay it on the box just like that. This next step, what we're going to do is we're going to guide the adapter receiver wires up here. It's kind of stuck on the broom here. You simply want to make sure you guide them up here so you can plug them in up there. And then we're going to want to put the F part of the broom just like that. Just slide it on over like so on the broom to the bottom right here. And after guiding the wires through the broomstick here, you want to get the G part of the broomstick and simply do the same thing again and slide it down just like that. But before you do that, make sure you thread the power adapter wires through the broomstick, and then you slide it on just like so, like that. And then you want to do the same thing with the H part of the broomstick and simply just slide it into place once again where the broom meets right there. And once again, make sure you thread the power adapter wires through the entire broomstick so she can actually connect from the bottom down to the base right there. So make sure you do thread the wires through the broom here. And for the next part, what you want to do is take the I pole right here and then stick it through the broom, and then make sure it snaps locks right there in the middle. The next step, you want to get the K labeled pole right here with wires coming out from both ends, and simply snap lock it in right here, just like so, right in there. Then you want to get the L hand and simply slide it down the pole just like so until the end hits right there. Next, what you want to do is take the power adapter wires coming from the broom here and then connect them to the same colored ones coming from this new pole that we have here just right there. You can see they're now connected just like that. Make sure you also connect the hand wire for the lights right there with these two matching wires right here. So what you want to do is you want to take the costume and find the arm, her right arm from her point of view, and just slide it through on this pole right here, just like so, and through this foam piece up here, just like that. Make sure it is on there just like so on the broom. And what you want to do after that is you want to make sure you open up the back of the shirt and then loop it through her arm and then open it up from the back and push it down just like that so the pole is showing from the back of her clothes. And then what you want to do next is take her entire shoulder piece, which is labeled in here, and then simply snap lock it right here on where her arm is showing out right here. And after you snap lock that in, it should look like this, where you can see her shoulder frame connected to her arm piece right here. And after you make sure that is in place, you want to guide the costume all the way on top of this shoulder frame right here. After you guide the entire costume over the shoulder piece here, it's going to look something like this, where you have the bottom of her costume right here coming out with the pole at the end. So you got to basically cover it all over and then make it go through the end of her clothes and have the pole coming out like this. So you attached the module piece right here. And after that's snapped locked in, it should look something like this. And all you want to do next is connect these wires up with the matching colors right there. Here you can see we have some of the wires connected in now with the matching colors. And the next step, what you want to do is take the head and come back around here and lift up the dress and put her head right here and snap lock that in where this is right here. Once again, after you have the head attached, you want to make sure you get the wires that are coming from the head that make her eyes go and her mouth move, and connect them to the corresponding wires down here. Then what you want to do next is you want to get the Q piece right here, and you want to just slide it over the module and poles just like so, and then connect it right here where it says O, just right there. And then there's a pin, and you just pin it together and it should stay in place. And then after that, next what you want to do is take the leg piece R right here and then snap lock it to this right here at the end of the module. Here we have one leg right there. And then now what you want to do is take this S foam and simply slide it over the legs just like so, and then loop it through in there and just slide it on just like that for both of the legs. And then it should look something like this with the leg foam on the legs now. And after you have the leg foam on, all you want to do is drape the end of her purple cloth over the foam and the legs. And what you want to do after that is you want to find this black hooks on her dress right here, and you simply just want to put them over these hooks right there just like so. And then you do it for the same over here on this leg. It's coming from her dress right there, that black loop right there, and you simply just put it over her leg loop right there. And then you want to find this little elastic band named Z1 and simply just hook them both to the end of both of the legs, just like that, all the way across. And next what you want to do is find her other arm labeled T and simply just slip it in the holes right there, but make sure you first drape it through the arm close right here, and then of course you have to pin that up so it stays in there locked. And then it should look something like this with the other hand prong sticking out, and it's through the close. And then of course we have it in the prongs right here, and it's pinned up just like that on the shoulder. And then next what you want to do is take the U hand piece right here and simply just slide it into the prongs coming out from her arm right here, and make sure you do also pin that as well so it stays in there good. And then after that, it should look like this with the pin in there. And then what you want to do is just simply Velcro the hand with the clothes right here. And next, all you want to do is drape the clothes behind her like this and Velcro it all on where the Velcro meets right there on both sides, just like that. And then it should look something like this, all in the back, all Velcroed up, and her clothes all together, just like that. Next, what you want to do is take the hat and Velcro it on where the Velcro sits right there on her head. And there's also an elastic band that you just sit under her chin, and make sure it's pretty far under her chin because you don't want to affect her mouth movement going on there. So make sure that elastic band is tucked under her chin right there. And there we have the hat Velcroed on, and the strap is right there under her chin. And you're definitely going to want to adjust the hat a bit. It's going to kind of be a bit wonky when you first put it on, but it does have a bendable wire up here, so you can adjust it how to your liking. So that is very, very cool. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to fix that when you stand her up. And after that, you want to take the V piece of the clothing right here, which is kind of her cloak that adds to it, and you simply want to attach it to the two Velcros in front of her shirt right here, just like that. Just simply connect it right there, and then you connect it to the other side right there. And lastly, for the broom, you want to take the X piece right here and simply just slide it through just like that. Screw her hand right here to the other side. Then it should be fully completed. The broom should be finally done, and then it should look like that right there, all connected together on. Finally, after that, you are going to lift her up off the box into her right position. And a little note, before you lift her up, make sure you have all of her wires connected and make sure she's all Velcroed up, and make sure, just make sure all of her wires are connected and everything is good to go. Make sure her volume is up, and just make sure everything is ready when you stand her up, so you don't have to deal with it again and put her down. All right, and after that, she is fully stood up and she looks amazing. She is definitely not 12 foot tall at the head, but by the hat, she probably is. She's still really, really tall and she looks amazing. But now what you want to do for the last step is add the support poles on the corners of the base. All right, and now we have the support poles snap locked into each side of the base, so she's stable. And I definitely highly recommend getting some rebar as well to put her in the ground with. You basically just hook it onto the base and stick it in the ground, and it gets very, very stable. Definitely get like 4 of those. And then you also have these hooks right here that you can put onto her base and just hook it on the ground, and she will be pretty stable. I definitely highly recommend getting all of your 12 foots, or specifically your 12 foot witch, pretty stable with resources like that. But she is done. We are finally gonna do a demo of her. I'm so excited. She looks awesome right now, and I cannot wait to turn her on. So let's give her a go.
Halloween charms and magic are in the air. Come join me for a spell, and we can brew you into something delicious. They said the potion would make me stand head and shoulders above the rest of the witches. This exceeds my expectations. From where I am, you can run, but you can't hide. You better pick up the pace to escape my spell, or you might be turned into a toad. Are you scared of heights, my pretty? Don't worry, I will drop you right away.
All right, guys, that was the demo of the 12 foot hovering witch, and I gotta say, she is so awesome. I love her so much. She is definitely my favorite 12 foot that we have gotten from Home Depot so far. Her look and stance is just so awesome. I love how she's just flying on the broom and she looks so sick, and the wind really adds to her flying look, and I just love it so much. She looks so cool. Now, I was for a while having a problem with her wires not being fully connected. I was wondering why she was not turning on for the longest time, but then I realized I misconnected some arm wires right there. I didn't fully connect them, so I just went up there and connected them, and she is fully working. She is so awesome. And a little tip here, to access her module, you simply just undo this Velcro in her cape, and her module is right here. As you can see, the volume control and the off and on. When you just have her on, which you just simply press this button, she'll just be in like a static mode, but she'll have her eyes on, if you can see up there, and she'll have her lights on, but she's completely static. She won't move or anything. And then for the other button, which is the sensor, you simply just press it again, and she should be turning on. So yeah, that turns her on. And then the other switch is a try me / foot pad. And then of course you have the volume control knob here if you want to turn her down or up. I personally have her all the way up. But yeah, that's a little trick right there. You just simply undo this Velcro in the cape, and that is how you access her to turn her on. If she goes off again, I'm just gonna turn her off here. But yeah, she is so cool. You're definitely gonna need some weight on her. Right now I just have, you know, like some weights on her, but you definitely want to add the support poles, add some tethers, get some rebar, and definitely strap her down into the ground and make sure she doesn't fall over. But yeah, she is so cool. I definitely think this is the best 12-footer from Home Depot. Now, my only complaint with her is that when she moves her mouth, you can hear some clacking from the mouth, so that is kind of annoying. It's not that bad. It's just somewhat annoying. The sensor sometimes is also not as responsive as you would want it to be. So when she's on sensor mode, when you want to move, the sensor is a bit wonky, but it should work fine. Her clothes are definitely waterproof quality. And her hat, of course, is too. Everything about her should be good for weather resistance. But yeah, and also, you know, down here, this is how you plug her in. This is her power adapter extender, and you simply just plug the adapter into there just like so. And that is also a waterproof connector. But yeah, the 12-foot witch, she is awesome. I'm also going to definitely have to adjust her clothes a bit, and her hair is also kind of in the way of her face, and you can kind of not see one of her eyes, and you know, some of the broom, you can kind of see some of the metal peeking through there and the wires. But yeah, she'll definitely need some adjusting. She does have wires in her, like on the hat, you can adjust the hat with the wire in there. And also on the cape here, there's a wire where you can adjust it, but the wind is kind of picking it up right now, so it's kind of going all directions. But yeah, she is so cool. I honestly highly recommend her for Home Depot. She is definitely the best. This is definitely not the last Home Depot prop I'll be unboxing and reviewing on this channel, but she is definitely one of the best in the Halloween industry this year. And I highly do recommend her for only $300. That is a steal, and she is awesome for that price. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It was so annoying to deal with her at first because I was just sitting here for hours trying to figure out why she wasn't turning on, but my dumb self didn't realize that the wires were not connected. So do not make that mistake. Make sure you connect all of her wires in, and make sure you thread it through the broom just like so. And yeah, do not make the same mistake I did, but she is awesome. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next Ryan's Haunts video. Peace out, guys.